Okay, so who's gone out too hard on an ergo, and in the middle you're starting to get worried? Yeah, me too. So, what happens? I'm halfway through. I'm 1,000 meters into it. The lactic wall is starting to sort of come up, and I'm getting a bit worried because I feel like I've gone out too hard. I feel like, that plan that I had, I was a bit ambitious in terms of, what score I was going to aim for. I was probably a little bit sort of maybe excited at the start and went out a little bit too hard in the first 100 metres. And I'm starting to feel the pinch. What do I do?
I'll give this to Jimmy because he's the master at lactate.
Well, you're not allowed to stop. That's the first thing. Never in training, never in a test, never in a race. Never give yourself that option, because as soon as you stop, you give yourself that option for when you're in that position and you can actually get through it. So I guess the best thing to do is prevent that from happening by really understanding what you are capable of doing. So using your training sessions, using the day before to do that 1250, have a good idea of what you are capable of, and sticking to that. If you are in the position of you've gone out too hard and things are fading away, it's not an easy thing to do. So it's just a matter of reassessing where you're at. If you wanted to go out and you're one of these Somerset girls at the front, you wanted to sit on 157. 157 the whole way. You've gone out too quick. Or you're just not feeling good. You're sitting on 157 average. You're 700 meters down. You're starting to see 58s, 59s, 2 minutes. You might need to say, okay, I'm just going to hold 159 to 2 minutes for 500 meters. Get through that. Okay, I'm going to go back to 158. Hold that 158. So you might not get that 157 average, but you can still hold yourself together and get through it in as good as you can. So you're not going to get a PB every time you do it. You're not going to reach your goals every time you do it. If you do, your goals probably aren't high enough. So it may not be your best effort, but it's the best you could do on the day. So just set yourself, what Maxie was talking about before, those chunks, and just get it through it. You may have to adjust on the run, which isn't an easy thing to do. It's always a better 2K ergo if you're sitting better than what you thought you'd do, and it's pretty tough when you're not. So just to get those chunks and reassess, and just get through small parts at a time.
Yeah, I guess it's obviously when you had more experience and done more ergos, then you can set your plan up a bit better, and you can pace yourself a bit better. But when you find yourself in that place where you've perhaps gone out too hard, or you're really struggling to get through the middle of it, I think that's a really good advice there, is to sort of reassess, readjust, let it come out a little bit, but obviously don't let go of all of it. Again, I think going back to the last answer, having someone there to push you. I try to set up in my mind a race. If I say I'm in the boat, and it used to be at school, it was like Scotch are sitting right there, or whoever's sitting right there just behind you, or just in front of you. You've got to get back up through them. And nowadays it's sort of, you go like the British or the Germans are sitting there and they're pushing on you, and you don't want to let them through. And that gives you, because often it's just a mental game. If you're in pain and you go to that and you just start thinking, I'm in pain, all you're going to do is be in pain and you're going to slide. But if you start saying, I'm in pain, but I've got this thing pushing me and I don't want to let him through, then that's going to allow you to hold on to as much as you can. And really, that middle 1,000 is the most important part. If for the last 200 metres you go up 3-4 seconds in speed, you get 4 seconds faster, it's such a short length of time that it doesn't really make any difference. So if you can just, for that middle 1,000, hold on to half a second, or even a third of a second just through that middle 1,000, that little bit adds up over the time to make a big difference at the time in the end. So it's really not worth letting it slide a couple seconds for that middle part and then coming home like an absolute rocket. It's better to just be really tough and work through that middle bit, let it go a little bit, and then hold, and then do whatever you can at the end. That's going to end up better than letting it go and trying to come back.
So